All right. Take us away, Matt.
All aboard, everybody. Hey, welcome to the first SketchUp Live of 2022. That's right. You're tuned into the right one today, everybody. And we got the locomotive coming through. So, Tyson, we modeling a locomotive, part of our four-part January series of a little model train set we'll be doing. So, yeah, hey, it's gonna be a great series. It's gonna be a great stream today, and you're gonna learn some great tips. And we're gonna be chugging Choo Choo on the SketchUp train today. So starting 2022, of course.
We all have our favourite model, and I'm sure this year will be no different.
No different. So without further ado, I give to you Mr. Tyson Karchner.
Oh man, you always make it sound better, Matt, than I come in and the energy just goes.
Oh no, we're gonna maintain that the entire time.
Oh wow! Hey everybody, Happy New Year, 2022. Oh, thanks for joining us. First of all, like we say, thanks for joining us. Let us know where you're coming in from, and how you celebrated the New Year's. If there's any good stories out there, we want to hear them. Let's have it. What about you, Matt? Did you live it up? Did you get your party on?
Ooh, I ended the previous year in true getting older fashion. I called it a night early. Did go out to a nice early dinner with my wife, and then I was asleep by 9:30. Didn't even see the ball drop. Didn't ring in the new year with everybody, but hey, it was a nice relaxing time. And I enjoyed the morning of the first that much more. What about you? Did you have any spectacular, lighting off fireworks or anything of this nature?
I think is really ironic about that is I'm with you in that I will happily go to bed at 10 o'clock on a New Year's, but my kids now want to stay up. And so, why? If you get old and you want to go to bed early, and then you're stuck because your 10-year-old is like, no, staying up till midnight's fun. I'm like, no, it's not.
We're staying up all 2022, baby. Never going to sleep.
Yeah. I think though they had we had some cousins over and they had started playing the Phineas and Ferb New Year's, so they tried to sync the New Year's with the Phineas and Ferb New Year's ball coming in.
Nice, that's fun. Yeah, to each their own, and that sounds like a great celebration.
So,
what a better way to bring in the new year than Phineas and Ferb, I suppose. Yeah, who knows?
Love those guys. I do.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, thanks for tuning in today. Transom coming in from Pacific Northwest. Raining out there. That's a shame. Dave R., good to see you. YouTube. Andy B. Kaggy. You can see some familiar names and some new folks in there. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Hi from Romania. Thanks for dropping in.
Wow.
Kansas City. Got Chris from Kansas City. Oh no, celebrate the New Year with COVID. That sounds like a familiar refrain from a lot of people, unfortunately, this year. But,
sorry about that.
Hope you're doing okay. And Aaron in the chat too, saying welcome back. Welcome to you, Aaron. Thanks for stopping by. This guy's got his free time, but he's still in the chat of the stream. Couldn't stay away. Couldn't keep him away. Couldn't drag him away.
Nice.
So yeah, let's get into it. What's the topic of the stream today?
So, if we look at this, most people will recognize, of course, this is just a train engine. This one happens to be an HO scale. Now, I'm not going to pretend for a second that I know what any of this means other than I looked it up 10 minutes ago. But I had access to a few of these train models, and I guess this is a standard scale. So this train engine is what we're going to model today. And over the course of this month, between Aaron and I, we're going to model a few train cars and a few of pieces of scenery that would go into a train set. We'll see how much we can get done over the course of a few sessions, but today we're going to focus here on this guy, Santa Fe number 3507. And this will be interesting. If there's anybody out there who's a train aficionado, model train or real, and knows insights about what this is actually based on, or about HO scale trains, please enlighten us. That'll be interesting. I don't think Aaron knows a whole lot more than I do, but he could surprise us. Come in and just
just from looking up a couple videos going into this series, knowing that we were doing this. There's so much there's so much content, there's so much knowledge out there about scale miniatures, about train sets and all the different gauges and scales and stuff like that. It's crazy. Well, and also one thing that I think is cool about us doing this is that you could technically 3D print these models after you're done with them too. And one thing about the train hobby that seems a little restrictive is the price on some of these models. I'm like, oh my gosh, how expensive some of the, especially the bigger ones are. I'm like, good Lord. So being able to make your own does seem like you're at a little bit of an advantage.
I was surprised too. Like I say, I just had access to it. I did not know that this is actually a pretty nice little engine.
Yeah.
So surprises. I have heard rumor that our very own Christine Enneroth, who people will know from the extensions she makes, and she works with our extension team. I think she gets into this a little bit, so maybe she'll have some insights for us at some point.
Yeah, for sure. I believe she's a published author when it comes to
oh, that's right,
the model train.
That's right.
Scene. I don't exactly know what, but I saw some article that I believe was written by her, with some SketchUp models and final prints and stuff like that. So, yeah, pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
I love it. A couple people in the chat, Roland, Andy, point out that HO is a 1 to 87 scale for the scale. So, good to know.
Which is why? It's a 87. Maybe you scale it down. And you're like, okay, whatever this needs to be, it is. But doesn't that seem funny? To me, I'm like, why don't you make it 1 to 190 or so? My brain just wants to work in big, nice, even numbers. 87.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think because when you go from inches to feet to whatever it is, that's just automatically a weird scale. 1 to 192 is a common scale for architectural drawing, doesn't it? It's yeah, you just get into funky not round numbers when you're not dealing with metric.
All right, there we go, everybody. We've opened it up. Let's have the metric imperial debate. We're gonna do it right now. We're gonna solve that. We're gonna
by the end of the stream, mark our words.
We're gonna have offended somebody.
Yeah. HSW Railway, hello from Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. Hey, thanks for tuning in.
Oh wow, awesome.
Bill says, are you infringing any copyright issue modeling a proprietary item? Well, I certainly hope not, considering we've done a lot of Star Wars stuff. A lot of, yeah.
We're not breaking new ground if we're infringing. We're infringing a lot.
Yeah. It's all it's all out of love. Does that make it any better? Who knows?
Also, we make these freely available, so we're not making money off of this. So, there's that. Something.
Yeah. I'm not a lawyer, but I
play one on TV.
Yeah. Let's see. LT, a lot of numbers accurate. As an engineer, it's called a ferroequinologist, aka iron horse. He's a medical, or they're a medical and aerospace engineer. Ooh, very cool.
Very cool.
And good to know for our, I don't know, word lesson of the day. The expanding our vocabularies, one word at a time. Angela, tuning in from Macedonia. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, awesome.
Studio RT Cool says had a SketchUp student who was really into trains and made lots of them. Nice. That's great. It seemed like a good application, certainly. Oh, and he also said HO stands for half O gauge, which in my extensive research on model train building, I did find out that O gauge is a popular gauge.
A more common?
Yeah, I think there's like O, then there's like OO, and then there's N gauge. Not to be confused with Nokia N gauge, of course, the great handheld gaming system. I don't know.
Well,
so where are you starting with the shape here?
Yeah, so modeling this out, here's my strategy going into this. Whenever you do something like this, and yeah, I don't know, I find it helpful to see like, okay, what are we gonna do? This obviously is symmetrical down the axis, so we're gonna model half of it. That part makes sense. There's a few pieces of this that will probably break out as other components. This is not by SketchUp, in the realm of just native SketchUp. I don't know if we'll use any extensions, maybe cleanup once or twice. This is pretty straightforward SketchUp stuff. I think everybody out there would agree. So all I'm doing is taking a few measurements. I want to get the overall basic measurements. Once I have that, for me, because I'm not a purist, apologies if you are, then most of this I will just be eyeballing and modeling just kind of like what looks right. But as long as I have the length, all the main pieces correctly scaled, then the rest of it should come together fine. That's my strategy. So right now I'm just putting in, the major height, length, and a few major pieces. That's how I'm going. If people out there have other methodologies, I'd be curious to hear how you might approach it.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. And getting the tablet going is also always a fan favorite too. So
getting the what going?
It's not just the simple, model. You're also getting fancy input device going too.
Oh, that's right, the tablet. Well, and so for those of you who use a tablet, you'll feel the pain. I've already copied a piece of this off here, right? So that when we get into the details, we can model on the larger size. If you've never done this, if you model at tiny scale, SketchUp's an architectural model, it tends to work better at larger scale. So one of the simple tricks, I know Dave is here with us, that Dave has popularized, I think it's even called the Dave technique, is that you just create your components and then you create a copy and model at the larger scale, and then everything happens nicely at your smaller scale. With the tablet, one of the things you'll see as I zoom in and out, it's fine. Once I edit this and I start zooming in and out, we're in context. This is one of those little this is where it's nice to have a mouse and just...
Could you select it and then say zoom selection or something?
Probably, or I don't have to edit it. I could just, zoom in there. It's just one of these little things when you work with the tablet, you sort of find little workarounds.
Yeah.
If we actually start going back and forth, I'll create scenes to jump us back and forth. Let's see. But we'll see. We may not need... This is not so small. We may not need that larger one. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Well, the cool thing about using the Dave method, or having the smaller and the bigger one, is you could have the small one at the scale, the small miniature scale, and then the large one could be at the true, real life scale, right?
That's true, actually. We could make it 87 scale.
Now we're talking.
that.
1 to 192 is 1/16 of an inch to 1 foot. So there you go. That is a nice round number for you. And 3.5 millimeter to 1 foot is HO scale, which I think is 1/8 of an inch to 1 foot, right? I know 3.5 to 1/8 inch because of headphone jack. Isn't that
Oh, is that? See, you started talking numbers, and I zoned out. I have no idea what you said.
You take care of the shapes. I'll take care of the numbers.
You just keep talking, Matt. I have no idea.
Yeah, no need. Nice. Yeah. Well, it's good to know all about this scale stuff because, especially in this hobby, it seems like the different scales are important to know. You don't want to get the wrong scale caboose for your, do they actually call it a caboose? I don't know, but this is what I know of trains is like childhood train stuff, like, train whistles and like that.
Right. Oh, that's clever, Matt. You totally set yourself up. Nice.
Yeah, well, I do have some train sound on the soundboard today, so just be looking forward to that. Not enough, should be enough to keep you tuned in here today, but also seeing the end product, of course, of Tyson's model as well.
Well, we were talking, so I'm curious out there if anybody has good, what are the best, as we're going through this, what are the best train movies? We were trying to think of, you thought of the Great Train,
Robbery.
The Great Train Robbery, and I brought up the Orient Express. What are the great train movies out there? They're Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, something.
Yeah, at first I was like drawing a blank, but now I'm like, Polar Express, which I watched over the Christmas season. That's a good train movie for sure.
There you go. Love that.
Ooh, and Colin, right there with Polar Express.
Boom.
Great minds.
It's fast.
Yeah, trains are a nice. Trains are cool,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I haven't been on a train in actually quite a long time, but especially long. I like the idea of like a long journey on a train, and it does seem like a story taking place on that setting. It's a nice setting. It's a nice, comfortable setting.
Which is definitely something like I just assume you get more if you're in Asia, in Europe, in the U.S. You never travel by train. At least most of us don't. At least not. Maybe on the East Coast.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If you're in like East Coast metro area, more have.
Yeah.
At least subways and probably a lot more train. But yeah, Michigan basically non-existent. Colorado has some trains like up in the mountains and stuff, right?
They do, and that's like very touristy. Like if you want to go up and you can have an awesome little train ride around, old mining camp or something.
Yeah, but it's not exactly going to get you from A to B. It's more just a loop for fun.
Exactly.
Let's see. Avatar, Darjeeling Limited, Pelham 123. Ooh, yeah, that's a. I've seen the remake of that, but I've heard the original is like an all-time great train movie. Never seen it, but put it on the list. The Train, starring Burt Lancaster. Ooh, that sounds like straight to the point. It's all about a train. Go West, Marx Brothers, 1940. Ooh, okay, got some oldies. Some of these I haven't even heard of. Runaway 2, Breakpart Pass.
Wow. We knew we would get good response from y'all.
Yeah, geez, you guys really your stuff when it comes to media and train series, films, depictions on a silver screen of the great locomotive. Casey Jones. Ooh, Great Train Robbery. I didn't even know there was a remake. Sean Connery, Donald Sutherland, Leslie Ann Down, says Dave. I was speaking of the original. Silent film, but I didn't even know there was a remake. That's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Wow, you guys keep them coming. Emperor of the North, Back to the Future 3, yeah, that's certainly a train movie.
Yeah. Nice.
Thomas the Train, nice, from Shining Time Station.
Mr. Conductor.
One I watched when I was a kid, certainly.
How did we not think of that?
Train Sim says Orient Express, yep. Snowpiercer, ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, Snowpiercer, of course.
Train Sim says I used to commute by train. It does seem, I would like a commute, you know what I mean, on a train. It's a lot better than sitting behind the wheel of a car, it seems.
It does.
Let somebody else do the navigation. I guess it's not even really navigation. You just go on the track.
Well, it seems far more reliable. Like in a car, you never know. I'm anywhere depending on how you're going, right? You've got this variable arrival time, whereas the train seems like, no, you've got a schedule. You keep it.
Yep. They're running on time.
Anyone out there ever done the bullet trains, those speedy things, and is the experience any different? Or is it just like, you're on a train?
Ooh, yeah, like the maglev trains. Like, does it?
Yeah.
I assume it doesn't feel like you're moving at whatever it is, 200 miles an hour, or however fast they go, but it's insane how fast they get up to.
Yeah, that's wild.
The General with Buster Keaton, Unstoppable, Chris Pike and Denzel. Live and Let Die has a train scene. Oh, that certainly counts, Paul. Source Code. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Source.
Jeez, I need to brush up on my train media. Oh my gosh, I'm like way behind here.
This is awesome.
The West Coast Starlight is a great train trip down the West Coast. Ooh, that does. There's a lot of like scenic train trips that you can like book, right? That are like.
I think so.
All over the place, and that I've seen the trains with like the the kind of like glass roof, or like you have the ones where you can go upstairs out on the kind of like a tourist bus, but it's like train. Beautiful scenery. Trains are good for seeing that. Indiana Jones and Last Crusade used the Essex steam train for a scene a few towns away where Studio RT Cool lives. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, that's fun.
Got movies being shot right in your backyard. That's pretty awesome. Harry Potter. Oh yeah, I got that train in Harry Potter.
Oh, the Harry Potter train.
9 3/4.
Which probably a few people out there. I've done the Universal version. That's pretty fun.
I have not, but it sounds like it would be cool.
They have this whole simulated thing because you get into your not car, but your whatever the booth is, and then the window is they project images on it, right. So
that's cool.
You are actually traveling because you're going from one area of the park to another area of the park, but during that time you've got stuff going on outside the window, including like a Dementor potential attack, and so like everything, it's part of the experience. It's a lot of fun. So cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, when I lived in England for a couple of years, and at King's Cross, platform 9 and 10 is where, because I live in Cambridge, 9 and 10 is where the train from Cambridge came in, and so they had a little thing set up, a little photo op thing, right? It's like a little cart that's like halfway into the wall. You definitely know I got my photo taken there, but it's just a child. But yeah, no, the train to Cambridge, right over platform 9 3/4.
That's so fun. So, just by matter of, by all means, if there's questions, please shout them out. But like I say, this for many people out there, that this will be fairly straightforward what we're doing. I think most of the major pieces. And so from this point, it will be, maybe a few measurements, but a lot of eyeballing and just saying, it looks kind of like that and kind of like that. I could measure that, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm sure there are like train forums and stuff where you can get like the actual plans that you could model off, right? If you wanted to get like
Probably.
the exact measurements for somebody but this is just more of a hobbyist use than like a completionist kind of. You're not like selling this model, as like the scale model of like this railroad, right?
No, but I think that's one of those things where you just, depending on your use, it's to scale. Like if you needed the exact scale of each one of these circles, I don't know why you would need that. But the train is to scale, and the details might be off by 0.5 millimeter because we're guessing. And that's where, to me, unless you're a purist and you just enjoy it for the sake of having that sort of accuracy, it's fine. But again, not trying to, knock anybody who wants to be a purist, but that's just...
Yeah. It seems like a different exercise to try to like match the exact, specifications and everything.
Yeah.
Versus just having a little fun watching a train go around.
Let's see.
Rode on the Rocky Mountain in Canada a few years back. It was superb. Ooh, that sounds cool. Yeah, anytime a train gets up in the mountains, it's like, oh, this is a pretty fun experience. Let's see. One for next year, Argyle with Henry Cavill and Bryce Dallas Howard. I worked on that last year. Ooh, that's pretty sweet.
That's
oh my gosh,
so cool.
I'll keep an eye out for that one. What did you do for the movie?
Yeah, that sounds
Let us
really...
know.
What's happening there?
Yeah, anytime you got Superman in a movie, it's going to be a big deal. James T says Seoul Busan train. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I think this is one of those like bullet trains. Middle of the night fast train through farms with an open, perhaps it's not a bullet train then. Open train windows and doors. Wow. That seems like a windy ride, but probably a fun one. Water for Elephants. Gosh, there are so many train movies, guys.
We asked for it, right?
Yeah, please keep loading them up. Load up the chat box with trains. It's gonna be like a train car madness in here. Okay, Von Ryan's Express with Frank Sinatra. Silver Streak, Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor. Train Spotting, yeah, that technically has train in the title, so that counts.
No, I feel like are we going to get into that realm of like, what's a Christmas movie?
Oh, yeah. Right,
what's a train movie?
Oh boy, I'm glad that Christmas is over so we can stop having those conversations and seeing articles about Die Hard and what isn't all this. I'm just like,
what's a
it's tiring
Christmas
after a while,
movie?
but it's certainly fun to talk about. Andy asked, what were the details of the model we're modeling? Do you know like the name of it or anything like that, or
I don't know. I don't know what this is based off. This is, generically, I think most of these are Bachmann. This is a Bachmann, but I don't know what the model is. They do have different numbers when I was looking into this. This one is 3507, but I think this same engine just comes with a couple different numbers, so I don't know if that means anything. Be curious if it does. I'm sorry, I don't know much about it.
Nice. Yeah, that's good enough. At least somewhere to start. Sweet. All right, so here we go. You don't have to pay attention to this part. It's about numbers, but Standard gauge railway track,
New
4
enhancements
feet,
we have in
8.5
2021
inches.
that will help with asset creation
between
and
the rails.
streamlining your
Any
editing
track that is
workflow.
closer
If
together
you've
is
used the
called
library in
narrow
Camtasia
gauge,
before,
and
or
any
especially
track
if you've
wider
used
than
the
that
Testament
is
Asset
called
Center,
broad gauge.
then you'll know that there's some great customizable
Are you
motion
hearing this,
graphics
Matt? I
and
think I have a video playing in the
in
background.
Camtasia 2021, we're going to be making the same tools we've used to create these assets available to you. With Camtasia's new
I can't hear it.
properties,
Does
all you
anybody
need
on
to
the
do
stream
to
hear
make a new
that?
quick property asset is
I've
add your
got
timeline objects to a group.
I've been looking
Once
at
you've done that,
Camtasia.
Camtasia will automatically
And
look through your
so
objects and assign properties to your new asset, so that you or others you're collaborating with
But do you have like
Why?
a tutorial or
quickly and
something
easily
playing in the
edit
background?
and update
Yeah.
assets for future
So
videos.
sorry, everybody.
Sometimes
Give me
you'll
half a
find that you want to
moment
customize your
here.
assets properly.
Got
Oh
it.
no, give me time to catch up on the chat, so you're good. Let's see. Oh, construction company built all the sets for the Argyle movie. So that's, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Jono? It's either Jono or Yano? I'm not sure. But that's awesome, dude. That is spectacular. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And then I'll think of you every frame, every scene. I'm a little bit behind here, but YouTube mentioned something called rivet counters, which may be something that you were modeling before. But I'm living in the past, so I'm going to try to steam through these.
Rivet
I'm going to try to...
counters.
Wait, hold on, I have a...
Full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead, reading through the comments. Murder on the Orient Express, yeah, that's great. Oh, How to Train Your Dragon, yeah, technically that counts, Andy, nice.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And I love that movie. No, it doesn't. Shame on you.
Super Train, NBC TV series that flopped. Ooh, nice. I love those, like, it made it 3 episodes and then they're like,
yeah.
oh, no, not doing it. 310 to Yuma, that's great. People are saying they can hear your video in the background. Did you get it?
It should be gone.
Okay,
It
cool.
did play for about a minute, so I'm sorry about that. It should be gone.
Okay.
We're on a little bit of a delay here, but
Yeah, sorry about that, folks, but should be good now. And HSW Railway says it's a GP38 model. So I'm sure somebody knows what that means. I'm sure they know what that means, but there we go, GP38.
GP38.
And that is why we're gonna kick this sound effect into high gear.
Why don't you grab some popcorn, your favorite beverage, sit back, relax, and let's enjoy together how model trains are made.
Where's that one from, buddy?
Like I said, there's a lot of YouTube content out there for model trains, model railways, and wow, just a lot of people sharing a bunch of great info on there, and also sharing a bunch of great sound drops too.
Nice.
Ooh, Andy says actually it's a GP40. Ooh, we got some controversy in the chat here.
Ooh. All right.
All right, what's it gonna be? What is it? It's something. Although the one you're making is a GP eyeballing it.
That's right. GP something indeed.
Gee, pretty close. Nice, I love it.
GP, however fast, however far we get in an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's the LOD, is the TIME that we have to create it. Nice, love it. Oh, one good thing is it's Friday too. I know
Oh yeah.
some people said this week, like, I don't know, this week either felt like super long or like it went by so fast I don't even know what's going on. I can't really tell. But I'm glad it's Friday. So, Anybody have any plans for the weekend? You going train spotting? You going on a trip on a train? Or are you just setting up your model railway? Or using SketchUp? Some other thing? Going out to the pub? That's a good way to spend some time.
That all sounds nice. Aren't there a few people watching us from the pub? Like if you're over in the UK, aren't you already deep into your third drink and makes this look even better than it is?
You're like, hey bartender, can you turn this TV to SketchUp's YouTube channel?
Yeah. Who needs to watch the game? Like, this is riveting. Oh, I should put some rivets in here, and then it can be a very bad joke. But Jody's not here. That's usually I leave those for Jody.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be next time. Be ready with the rivet puns for sure. Yeah, COVID has screwed up the pub plans. Sounds like, and yeah,
that's definitely true.
I believe it screwed up a lot of plans. So maybe it's just more of a beer at home kind of day. That works too. Girl on the Train. Oh yeah.
Oh.
It's another good train movie. My mom read that book, so that's my contribution to that one. Although I think I watched the movie too, actually, a while ago.
I'm getting mixed up with the girl in the dragon tattoo, and the girl on the train's a different one. I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah. So many girls, so many trains.
So many girls, so many trains.
Let's see. Toy Story 3 has a great train scene.
Oh, it does. That intro is epic. That's so great. I love that intro. Like taking a kid's imagination and turning it into like a seriously rendered drama. It's so funny to me.
Yeah. Well, it's just as real as the kid is imagining it. So there you go. It works well.
Oh, I watched another one recently. I know this is there's that little silly, this is such a minor scene, that silly scene in Ant-Man where, they're fighting in miniature, and so when they're zoomed in, the train, everything is big and huge, and then from Real's perspective, it's just a little train. Boop. They're like, train's coming. It's just, train.
That is funny. I haven't seen that movie, but it does seem like you could probably overdo that joke a lot, where it's like, it seems like such a big deal, and then you cut to the actual scale, and it's like, but
I think you could. I think they saved it for the right moments, and
yeah,
I kept it rather than, because you're absolutely right. Like that would grow old.
Nice. Well, it's good to hear they use some restraint on the Ant-Man movie.
Best thing that's going to come out of this. That's nice they use restraint on the Ant-Man movie. Way to go, Marvel and Disney. Way to go. You needed.
Let's see. Andy says, this is a quote from Wikipedia. The GP40 is a 4-axle diesel-electric locomotive built by General Motors between November 1965 and December 1971. It has an EMD 645E3 16-cylinder engine generating 3,000 horsepower, or HP for short, of course.
I don't know what EMD stands for, but it's diesel, right? Like this is a diesel. It's not a.
That's what it says. Diesel electric. So maybe it's electric motor diesel, or something different. I'm not sure. So that's pretty sweet. It is kind of crazy how like I mentioned earlier, like especially in Michigan, but living in the U.S., like you don't really see a lot of trains, and you kind of forget how like powerful and huge they are. You know.
Seriously.
Like, I don't know. Just from watching a couple videos about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, trains are like. I think that's why you see people, you know, walking on the train tracks, and they just you don't realize how big these things are. At least I don't.
No, and I think it's like, you know, one of probably many reasons why. I don't know if you've ever looked into this. My understanding is for all the people out there that have lovely pictures where you're standing, you know, wedding photo or senior pictures or something, you're standing on a train. They're so cool and fall leaves or something in the back. I think those are all illegal. I would do it. I'd go take some pictures, but I just technically I think you're not supposed to take photographs on a train track.
Yeah. Oh, and rightfully so.
Right?
Because, yeah, danger levels are high. Unless it's an abandoned track, I suppose. If it's an old track, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. Or just do it like you got the green screen. Just do it on green screen.
Yeah.
You know? These people got Photoshop. Just cut them out. Put them on the train, train background. Danger's a lot lower in the software space. Okay, Transom says, how about music about trains? Ooh, yeah, I'm sure there's some good.
Well, there's a whole band named Train.
Ooh, yeah, very true. Was this Meet Virginia? That's Train, right?
Yeah, that's Train.
Wears high heels when she exercises. It's a line from that song.
That's a good one.
Ooh, how about The Locomotion by Kylie Minogue?
Oh, yeah. Everybody do the locomotion. Nice.
We're having fun. Wallace and Gromit model train scene. The Penguin. I haven't seen it. You seen that one?
Yes. Oh, good call. I can yap a little bit about that one if we get bored.
Okay, keep it in the hopper.
You know what's going to be great, Matt? We decided to do a month of trains, and we're going to exhaust every train topical resource right now. Sorry, Aaron.
No, we're gonna make Aaron and Jody watch every movie that you guys mention on here. So we'll keep bringing them on, and then we'll load up the Netflix queue with everything that you put in there. Because you gotta have your cultural touchstones when it comes to the beauty of the locomotive, of course. Ooh, okay, and Railfan727 says actually Santa Fe didn't have GP40s, they did have GP50s. They were numbered in the 3800 series. So, good to know.
Well, if your handle is Railfan, you get some clout, right?
Yeah, I think you automatically, I believe you.
I mean,
I believe everything you say.
Who would you believe, Railfan or some guy named Dave Richards? I know who I believe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it comes with the territory, You make your handle, and people trust you based on it. Username is powerful. It's a powerful thing.
Spending way too much time on this window. It's like giving me some fits.
Well, there's going to be somebody hanging out of it, saying, all aboard! So, is that how these trains work? I don't know. Andy said he posted a picture of a real-life GP40 on the forum, which the link, of course, is in the description here.
I'm going to go back for a second. It has less to do with trains, has more to do, but since Matt, you're a movie guy, and I'll simply just reference, there's a YouTube channel out there that is Patrick Willems, where he does reviews and talks about movies, and so you can give him any clout you want, but he argues that scene, which is an action scene, this train scene, is one of the best action scenes ever made. And then he goes into all this stuff about why and how the action tells a story, and that everything about it, like, it enhances the story. It's not action for the sake of action or action for the sake of explosions. Every piece of it is all part of the story and part of the tension. And it's Wallace and Gromit, so it's not like it's high tension, but it's if you haven't seen it, Matt, Gromit, right, is the dog, and they're being chased by this penguin who's the robber in the movie, and in the meantime, it's this great train chase scene, but they're on a train, but Gromit is quickly laying down track as they're moving forward so that they can keep going. So he's flipping down track and turning as it's just chasing inside the house. It's so fun while this, so it's very integral to the whole scene. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sounds whimsical and and fun.
It's totally awesome.
It's on the list. It's on the queue. Ooh, EMD is Electric Motor Division.
Oh.
Or Electromotive Diesel? I don't know. Two different people are saying two different things. Perhaps there are two different EMDs. We continue our search for EMDs in Iraq. Oh boy. Didn't know you're going to get some of that today.
Well, and I keep trying to think of, but it's two different. ELO, Electric Light Orchestra, and great song, Blue, what is it, Blue something.
I don't know, I'll leave that to the chat. This is one thing about coming back from break, is that I'm just consistently drawing blanks pretty much always. Which is not good for being the commentary part of the stream over here, but perhaps it's relatable? I don't know. But yeah, no. Mr. Blue Sky.
Mr. Blue Sky.
A couple people tuning in, so thank you for the quick fingers on the keyboard. Electric Motor Division was the old name, the previous name. Nice, good to know. There's a lot of this trivia that just baffles me, how many details like that there are when it comes to, like, railways and stuff, and how people are just like this wealth of information that I just never knew existed until recently. As recently as just a couple seconds ago.
Very recently.
Nice. Ooh, I got a piece of trivia here for you.
Oh.
All right, Tyson. So.
Wait, for me or for everybody? Okay, throw it.
This is for you and for everybody. This is from Bill in the chat. But the world's longest and heaviest train operated on June 21st, 2001. And as we also, as a tangent here, as we enter 2022, I'd like to remind everyone, if you're going to say 2022, you have to say 20 for all the two 20s. So you can say 2000, the year 2000, and of course 2001. So anyways, the world's longest and heaviest train operated on June 21st, 2001, I mean. Okay, between Newman and Port Hedland in Western Australia. The train operated 170 miles, aka 274 kilometers, with 682 loaded iron ore cars. That's a lot of cars.
Huh. How many? I mean, if we're just going into random trivia, is that like how many engines did it take to do that? What were they trying to set a record, or is that 600?
Yeah, 682. That is a boatload of cars. Also, I think that your response is like the perfect response for that kind of trivia point, and also reminds me very much of this sound effect.
Huh.
Well, okay then. Yeah, exactly. That is.
That is crazy though. I mean, you think about like a big truck, and it's like, oh, these big trucks have like big tanker trucks can carry whatever. You see them carrying those, the big wind turbine things, or like 2 or 3 cars. But that seems like the limit, and then 682 is quite a few more than that. So yeah, that's big freight. That's what we call that in the train division.
Back in the Midwest, that's big freight. Yeah.
Don't mess with big freight; they'll come after you. They got an extensive legal team, and yeah.
What's funny about that is, again, not to always reference kids, but anybody out there who has kids, I assume you'd have the same where you're like, nah. Your kids would be like, 640 cars. I counted more than that on the last train we got stuck at. That train had 970 cars. I counted. I guarantee you somebody's kids out there saying that. 640. That's so quaint. I can count higher than that.
I made way more cars than that in Minecraft.
Oh yeah, and I've blown up way more cars than that in Minecraft.
I remember when I was a kid, I was like so mind blown when I figured out I could count to 100. I was like, I can count to 100, and it takes me less than a day. I thought 100 was like, a million.
This big unobtainable number.
Right. 100. Oh my gosh.
100. And then did you realize shortly after that it's like counting to 100 is really boring? Like 99 bottles on the wall is made to be boring.
Yeah, it'll put you to sleep. It's like counting sheep. That's probably what the point of my parents getting me to do it was. Oh, believe me, you can count to 100. Just go ahead and do it. Just do it in a different room.
Takes away all the joy when you're like, you're not impressed?
You're not going to listen to me?
No, we're so impressed. We're just impressed from a distance. Go away.
Alrighty, Bill's got an update on the 382 loaded iron ore cars. The train was 4.53 miles long, so that's a really long wait at the train crossing there, and carried 82,000 metric tons, or about 181 million pounds of iron ore. Hot dog, that's a lot. That's a lot of cast iron pans.
Yes, it is.
Or I'm sure probably iron is used for other things, but in my house, no. Cast iron is one use and one use only, and that's making breakfast.
It makes a fine breakfast, though. No arguments there.
Keggy says the 2 outside windows on the front of the train are actually doors, not just windows.
I believe you are correct. I will, I don't think my train shows that, but we'll just, real quick here.
That's a quick change in
boom,
the 3D modeling application SketchUp.
Boom, boom, door. Thanks, Keggy.
Nice. Appreciate you keeping him honest.
Gotta keep us on our toes, eh?
Andy says he's a model railroader. I did actually notice this in a lot of the videos that I watched. There's a difference in nomenclature and sort of scales and things between the U.S. model railroads, and the UK Railway Modeler. He says in the US it's called Model Railroader, and in the UK it's called Railway Modeler.
Well,
so you thought you were mixed up already by metric system, introduced to this stuff. Well, the UK uses imperial, isn't that right?
As long as we offend somebody somewhere, well, that's all we're trying to do, right?
We're trying to create controversy on this.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we're here for. 8. Okay, so this is back to the big long train again. There was 8 locomotives that were pulling that long train. Total weight. Can you? Okay, so see if you can guess. Price is Right rules. In millions of pounds, closest without going over. What do you think? How many million pounds was the longest train of all time? Without looking at the chat.
You're counting, because didn't you say something about like how much in millions it was actually carrying and something to that
Okay,
effect?
so I'll give you the other numbers. So it's 682 cars. I'll even give you the weight in metric tons. 99,734 metric tons. And it was 4.53 miles long. And yeah, it was in Western Australia. 2001, of course. 2001, year of our Lord. So how many million pounds do you think that train would be?
Matt, I hope you're not asking me, because you said numbers again, and I went to measuring wheel size.
Okay, well, what size is the wheel?
Roughly 0.11 width, and if we're, to scale here.
Okay, so that is pretty close to the correct answer, which is 219.8 million pounds.
219.
Yay! 219.8 million pounds. 219.8 million pounds. Yeah.
So, so now we need, like, not that any of us can comprehend what that even means, but like, okay, what did the Titanic weigh? Like, was this basically transferring the weight of the Titanic across Africa, or was this transferring the weight of 12 Titanics, or some other like random thing that we also can't like that doesn't help anything, but just makes it sound cool, right?
I like that. I like the Titanic as a standard of measurement. It's like a football field,
That's right.
Like, who decided football fields is the size for like a large area? I feel like people use like school buses, too, for point of reference sometime. But I like Titanic. So, how many Titanics is this? Put it in my terms.
Yeah, let's get it to something we can all understand.
Yeah. And Paul, I totally agree with you. He says that's literally bonkers. Why/how/why? The reporter's questions, of course, why, how, and why. Did they have that amount of resource to do it? Yeah, why do they have that much iron ore in one place that they had to move to another place at one particular time? That's just a lot of iron. He says, thanks for making that door.
We aim to please, right?
Oh, absolutely. Anything you have any requests, throw the request in the chat. We will. I will make Tyson model it. You have my word. I have no control over what happens, but.
Well, no, yeah, for real. Whether or not there is or not, I mean, that's obviously someone's going to be like, actually, this little piece right here is a miniature elephant. You really got to add that. It's sort of key to the whole thing. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's the...
I think those kinds of details really what sells it for me.
Having those elephants in there really brings it home, really sells it for me. Oh, here we go. Keggy says the Empire State Building, so that's another good
nice
standard of reference of measurement here, is approximately 730 million pounds.
And what did we say? It was 200 and something million?
219.8 million.
We've got to round that up. That's just 220 million.
Well, I don't know. This is accurate to one decimal place. So that's where we're going to be with it. Okay, so 220 million. So actually, the train is carrying like a third of an Empire State Building. So how many? It's like 110 stories, right? So that's like 30, 40 stories. That's pretty impressive.
We're just solving all the world's problems here.
You're not the numbers person. We'll leave the all the math and actual figuring out how many Empire State Buildings that train could have pulled to the chat. You guys are the number masters, of course. Ooh, we do have a request from Paul to model some Mad Max style turrets on the top.
Oh.
When you're done.
Well, now. That would be fun.
Ooh, Andy said he did the math, and drum roll, 2 Titanics.
2 Titanics, or a third of the Empire. Okay. See, we're getting somewhere here. Like, we are creating rando stats. This is almost as random as baseball stats. We're getting there.
Yes, this is, what is that called? What's Moneyball based off? I keep thinking of plyometrics, but that's like a workout thing. Something metrics. You guys know what I'm talking about. Chat knows what I'm talking about.
Just the
standard metrics.
The nature of
like using the statistics to like
to drive your decisions,
change their game plan or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't think of it. Anyways, Bill says it's 402 sabermetrics. Thank you, Dieter. Quick on the draw. Gosh, I told you I couldn't think of anything. I'm glad I need this in like everyday life. I need a chat to just help me out with. I'm at a meeting at work and I can't think of a word. Help me out. And you got it. Thanks again. But Bill said it's 402 Statue of Liberties. Oh, Statues of Liberty. Of course, it's like attorneys general. 402 Statues of Liberty.
And 2.
Beautiful. And of course, don't forget that a 3D modeling program like SketchUp, you could make these linear arrays of Statues of Liberty very easy for illustrative purposes. Is that right? Your thoughts?
That's right. No, actually, I think we're going to shift gears, go find a train, make 640 cars, and put a couple Statue of Liberties on them. I think this needs to be an infographic. Thanks, everybody. We are going to switch gears.
Such an abrupt change in direction can really be a problem spot for causing derailments.
Why are all of these voices like they're chipmunks? You know, they're like pseudo... I don't know what's happening right now, but...
Well, you know, when I'm editing audio, I kind of run out of effects that don't completely distort it to the sound, or you can't even tell what they're saying. So I'm like, okay, I can put reverb on it, I can put echo on it. Got to change the pitch every once in a while.
All right.
So you gotta make it super low voice or super high voice. YouTube also did mention earlier that those the wheels needed some work, but I assume this whole thing that you're putting together here, this, what do you call that?
They do need some work. This wheel well thingy. What was the last time we had a discussion and we let everybody sort of like name stuff? Because this is the McThingy here, and we're gonna pull this back to the McWhatsma thing, and then we're gonna like this is about McLong. This everything's a Mc something.
Yeah, Bodie Trainy McTrain face, right?
Yeah.
Anytime the internet has to name something, it's you're right. It's got to have a Mick.
That's right.
It's just the McDonald's has such a grip on our culture, that everything is permeated with, fry oil and I don't know, pink goop or whatever it's called. Okay.
Chicken nuggets, in other words.
Yeah. YouTube says how many Death Stars does that equate to? That's a good good measurement there.
That's right. We need to put this in the Star Destroyer context or something like that. What are we talking Empire State Buildings for?
I've definitely seen those infographics where it's like comparing different size spaceships to each other.
Mm-hmm.
They have the regular Star Destroyer, and then it like zooms out, and then it's like the Super Star Destroyer. And it's...
Well, and I always feel like my nerddom is not on point when you're like, oh, Star Destroyer, Death Star is so big. And then they keep zooming out, and I'm totally speaking out of my, I don't know. But this, something from Babylon 5 will be like half the size of a solar system or something. Like just...
It's like when you're making up the scale, you can just say it's... Yeah. 2 universes across or something.
Well, isn't there something about like theoretical stages of humanity and what we'd expect to see from aliens, and like it to power, we would create a solar array that literally would be like around the entire sun, to gather the amount of energy to do such and such, and
mm-hmm.
So like the scale just gets.
Yeah, and I think it is on that. Like once a civilization has like learned how to harness the power of the star, then it starts to be on the scale of how many star energies does it take to make a, I don't know, wormhole warp drive or something like that. I don't really.
Mm-hmm.
Seems theoretical to me, but fun to contemplate, I suppose.
Exactly.
Oh, here we go. Steven comes in with the another piece of trivia here. The heaviest man-made object ever moved is the Gullfox C installation, and it was between 1.4 and 1.5 million tons. Nice. What is it?
What is it? Yeah. Oh, that's cool. What is it?
Installation, perhaps it's art installation. No, it's probably like a oil rig or something. That's my guess.
Huh.
Oil rig. Yeah.
Oh man.
Coming through.
So smart.
This deserves some applause. Good job, Lee.
You're crushing it. You said you were slower after the break, but look at you. Like, you just can't be stopped.
Oh yeah, no, I get one. Celebrate the small wins, I get one. Chat is getting one of these every 20 seconds, and I'm just happy to have one. Bill says having such a long break has not helped our sanity. Hey, I'll agree with you on that one. I'll agree with you on that one.
All right, that's a start. I don't know about anybody else. Like sometimes you get lost in the details of something and you're like, okay, I need to back away for a while. Let's like move to a different part just for the sake of Or you can just get totally lost, and we could spend 3 hours there. Both good, both favorites.
Yeah, it's one of those things, especially when it's relevant when working at scale. I feel like when you're like zoomed in on something in SketchUp, it like only having that in your view is like, okay, I need to model all these particular details. Then you zoom out and it's like, yeah, the fans are like extra like hyper realistic detail, and then everything else is just block representations or whatever. But no. Well, this is for fun, and so whatever you have fun modeling is what's important here, of course. Hot dog, okay. Andy's got the Death Star weight. Also, it's like, how do you weigh a Death Star? It's like you can't just put that thing on a scale,
It may be, but maybe they can. Maybe they have a galactic scale out there. You don't know.
True, the Empire does have pretty much unlimited resources, so
they seem to.
Okay, so now you really get to guess. No, I'm just kidding. This is so large you could never guess it. 134 quadrillion tons.
Quadrillion.
At this point, it's just like, this is a zillion, cajillion,
I'm going to question that number. If you're going to say 134 quadrillion, why isn't it 137 quadrillion? Like, I'm really going to question the, scientific basis for this.
Right.
I want to know. Yeah. Did they count that the main structural steel was, Beskar, or was it some different steel, or was it aluminum? I mean, we got to know. What are they counting?
We want the details. We want the breakdown here. Not just the outcome.
This is just our opportunity to be obstinate. Oh, good times.
That is large numbers. Gets out of hand pretty fast, but it's always fun to think of big things.
Okay, I just want to know from the beginning, I'm drawing these windows, and I don't think they're doors, but there's stairs on the back of this. I mean, to access the whole thing, I assume, but I don't see doors on the back of this, so I'm just going to throw that out there. I think these are windows, but...
Andy did throw a image of the real locomotive in the forum, and you can't really see the back, but the next train down does seem like it has a window that looks just like that one. So I think you're safe, at least that top one being a window.
Whew.
That's me. It's just me guessing.
Thomas the Tank Engine.
I mean, we love trains and we love model railroading.
What's happening? What's happening right now?
Just a lot of model railroading and real railroading for that. I'm getting railroaded over here. Okay, Paul is asking, so do you want a BIM breakdown of the Death Star?
Do we
was the Death Star
want
built with BIM?
One? Oh, was it built with... Okay.
Is it necessary to use BIM to build the Death Star? I say no. With no justification.
But say it with confidence, and then it's true.
Absolutely not. And Dieter rightly points out, we're talking about the Death Star, it would be weightless in space. I certainly agree, depending on which gravitational field it was in. Well, it's got a tractor beam, so it sort of can create its own gravity, right? So it's sort of interesting in its own way, but okay, I have some more numbers here, and I'm just going to read them as fast as I can, and then whatever happens, happens. Okay.
You can't be held responsible.
That's right. The Death Star has a volume of 17.16 quadrillion cubic meters. At 1/10 volume, we need 1.71 quadrillion cubic meters of steel, weighing in at 134 quadrillion tons, and it costs about $95 million to ship 1 ton of materials to space. So it means we'll be cutting NASA a check for $12.79 septillion.
Huh.
About half.
So that would be quite a bit. And, that information, do with it what you please. Keggy says, in regards to the weightless question, it would still have mass. So it would have mass, but not necessarily, I guess weight depends on what kind of gravity you have, right? Because your weight would be different on the Earth versus the... There is mass, so there is weight. I don't know. This is getting into a physics question. I like it. Not for me to do, but for somebody else to do.
For somebody else, yes.
Word problem. The Death Star costs $12.79 septillion. How many... The Death Star is leaving Coruscant at 12:59 a.m. Okay.
I feel, though, if this is really the type of question that we saw back in the day, it would be like, yeah, the Death Star weighs 90.7 quadrillion tons, and Susie is out the window and drops 3 jelly beans on, out of the way. At what volume do they... That it's more like, when the bus passes the Death Star, how many students are on it? What?
Hang on. Yeah, it's like, why did I need to know all these numbers? But yeah, no, I'd like to be on a bus trip to the Death Star with some jelly beans. That would be nice.
With
too.
some jelly beans.
Yes, please.
Or some gummy bears. That way you can keep them warm in your pocket. Do you know that reference?
Ooh, I don't.
You don't? All right, somebody out there does.
Warm gummy bears in the pocket. Somebody's got to know it. Somebody's got to come up with it.
Somebody will.
Okay, so Bill says the wheels are not clear of the surrounding assembly.
Not yet,
I think
or
he
not
means, like,
supposed to be.
I think not yet.
Well, and in I think this whole assembly, if I like, will be more like this, and you're right, there'll be something in here, and then
okay.
So yeah, this assembly is definitely not. We're not there. And in fairness, we're probably not going to get fully there in the time we have. But I hope this is starting to be kind of train-esque, train engine-esque.
Looks trainy to me. But the crowd has spoken. Ooh, no, I'm just kidding. I think it looks lovely. It looks perfect. I love it.
I thought you were going to reference
Aaron says,
something.
save Ferris. Oh, sorry.
Oh! Well, no, Aaron's right. It's the first he was talking about save Ferris, and it's the first reference we've had to save it all. We haven't saved. We're living on the edge here. No save.
Save.
You're going no save all day?
Shall we? All right, we're safe now. Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody.
Ferris Bueller.
Oh, that's what the gummy bear thing is from?
Yeah.
Ah, very good. Yeah, so Aaron says he was just talking about the gummy bears. But, probably subconsciously.
But thanks for that.
He wanted to hear that save sound effect.
This is funny.
Aaron, of course.
Very well known modeler and generally all-round good guy.
So.
Generally. Where'd you find that? Where did you find some of the modeler and all-around good guy? That's a random.
That was from a YouTube video about model trains.
Okay.
You watch enough videos. There's all kinds. People say all kinds of things. People are out there just talking.
It would seem.
So you have these large volumes of Death Stars and things. Think about the volume of just people talking.
Ooh.
Online. You got all these people doing podcasts. You got the YouTube videos. You got us. You know how many? There's all kind of people talking all over the place.
Talking.
That's a lot.
Why all the talking?
All
right, what do we got here?
Bill says that Mythbusters once did an episode, Gummy Bears for Rocket Fuel.
Wow. I need to know more about this right now.
Let's get to the bottom of this. Liftoff! We have a liftoff!
In the meantime, we're going to do some rails. There's a lot of details we can still add to this, but I think rails will take us some of the distance. Let's see here.
I like it. Sounds great to me.
As long as it's good by you, Matt, it is a go.
I am the arbiter of everything that is done on the stream. Let it be known. Everything that's done on the YouTube channel, actually anything that's done on YouTube, you have me to thank for it. So if you ever hit that bell, think of me.
And think of him kindly.
I suppose. Yes, please do. Please do.
Let's see.
So the technique you're going to use for these rails, are you just going to use regular follow me for that path?
Yeah, nothing fancy.
Nice.
We just did a whole thing on pipes and paths and stuff, but that was 3 weeks ago. Or 4 weeks ago. I can't be expected to remember how to do that.
No.
Even though I did it, but expectations here.
You'll have to go back and watch the stream to
I would.
brush it. Well, yeah, if it ain't broke, all you need is a railing. Follow me as your friend. Don't need any fancy extensions or anything.
It's true. No, the question then becomes, and I'll probably choose like 6 or 8 sides. This is so small. If you really were building out this as a way to sort of plan out your own, we could get away with as little as like 3 sides. I could draw a circle with 3 sides. And, oh great. See that, get to this whole small thing.
Gonna do it on the big one?
Yep. Let's make sure this is embedded into our component. And let's come over here to the big guy. There's a little guy. Here's a big guy.
Nice.
Anyway, I'll do more than
Big
3,
cheese.
but we could.
Because yeah, again, like we always talk about in the stream, is it depends on what your use is for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're gonna 3D print it, or if you're just using it for like rendering, or if you're just doing it for fun, those are different uses that you'd want different like level of detail for.
Exactly. Like you cannot tell. You don't even have to zoom that far out, and you can't tell. But I'll move it up just a bit. Let's make it. Where's my? Let's say 6.
Oh boy, Andy has a anecdote about trains here. I took my model railroading friend to a railway station and pushed him in front of a steam engine. He was chuffed to bits.
Do you have the wah wah? Or something?
I have this. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, that was a good one. That's a good one here. So I have to say that.
So marvelous.
Okay. So that.
Let's run this one down.
Safety first on this train, of course. We don't want anybody falling over off the carriage here. Is that what it's called? Carriage? No, probably not.
Sure.
Engine?
I don't know.
I feel like there's so many words for different types of trains. So, is a caboose called a caboose actually? All you train guys in the chat. Is a caboose called a caboose, or is it just like the end train, or is it something else? I feel like caboose is a fun word.
I agree, and even if technically it's not caboose, I feel kind of like Pluto, where like, okay, I can accept that it's not a planet, but in my heart, I still want to like hold it kind of dear. So you want to be like, caboose still is. Caboose is
like Pluto is the cutest planet. Caboose is definitely the cutest train car.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I certainly agree that I'll be. You talking about cabooses? You can't stop me. Wait, so what's cabooses?
Oh.
What's the plural of cabooses? Is it kabuki?
Is it kabuki?
Oh gosh.
This place is ridiculous.
Yeah, we've definitely jumped into that. Did we jump the shark at some point here? Probably.
Oh, the crowd really is getting mad now. Okay. There must be a mirrored door from the cab out the back so guys can get out on the side Tyson's modeling right now.
Right here. That makes sense. All right. Well,
yeah.
We'll usually throw that in.
Aaron says caboose is the pinky toe of the train. How dare you, sir?
You saved those vile comments for when you're modeling the caboose.
Yeah, you get the caboose. Caboose.
You get the kabuki mask.
Caboose is very good. Nice work, YouTube and Aaron. parallel thinking there. And Andy says the caboose is a railway wagon. Railway. Why is this so hard for me to say? Okay. Anytime I say like railroad or railway, I'm having trouble. I'm struggling. A railway wagon with accommodation for the train crew, typically attached to the end of the train, is what a caboose is. So it's where they have their rooms. The crew has their rooms in the caboose. Right, a smooth ride for a nice long night of sleeping there. So there's that. Transom, of course, says Batman and Robin, after they were run over by the train, were renamed to Flatman and Ribbon. So that's a good one.
Oh my gosh.
Nailed it. He says, have you all heard the story of Moose Turd Pie? It's about working on the railroad. I have not. I definitely thought this was going to be a setup to a joke.
Yeah, well, I was waiting, but it's just a thing, huh?
That's the joke.
Now this is a joke.
I'm not sure. Yeah, Moose Turd Pie. I haven't. Andy says in the UK, caboose is called a guards van. Sounds like a more reserved name for the booty of the train, which as we all know is the caboose. Train booty.
Here's that door for our...
Nice. Gotta be able to get in, gotta be able to get out, and, you know.
It does not like...
Probably when the train is running, this back door is more used than the front door. So, you gotta have it. Don't want to just be hanging out the front of the train all the time when it's going. I don't know.
Me neither. I do know it doesn't like how I copied this, so it is unhappy. So
just trying to cut a door, that's it.
Don't mess up.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
Least I could do. Always here to help.
I know. Let's see here. See, we got some stuff doesn't like here. There we go. See if this will work for us.
Keggy says a caboose is also an archaic term for a kitchen on a ship's deck. Nice. So galley, pre-galley caboose was where you go for the food when you're on board. Nice. Get me down to the caboose. I need some food, baby. I like archaic terms, you know, like old slang. There's some book called like American Slang or something like that, and it's written by a British guy in like the 1850s or something, and he just basically in his travels of the US wrote down all the weird slang, and it is fascinating and fun. I wish I could remember more of these in the moment to like bring out old slang, because it's just fun, guys. It's just fun using old slang.
You think of any of them? Do you remember any? Sort of.
No. That's the issue. But I will look some up right now.
I'm going to start throwing a little... This is the type of thing I like to color. It's blue and it's yellow. Those two things. So... No textures.
Nice. Well, you want to get it right. So does Santa Fe mean that it was made in Santa Fe, or that it's like the Santa Fe railway that it's part of? Who knows?
This is a question for our intrepid explorers out there. I do not know.
We've been to Santa Fe together for work.
We have. That was a good trip. And you got to go see Meow Wolf, right?
I did, yeah. It's a pretty sweet experience I will never forget. I have not been to the Denver one, but Santa Fe one was pretty amazing.
Let's see if I can finesse this blue into something that we'll go with that for now. Tweak this yellow. It's a little more orangish and a little more muted. Something like that. I don't know. So, in the interest of, let's sample this and paint all our other faces, and then we'll just go in and paint yellow where we need to.
Here we go. So people are saying the galley is below deck. The caboose would be above deck on a ship. And Bill also says the handrail needs attention. So.
There's a lot that needs attention. Yes, sir. That is correct.
It looks train-like to me. If I had a model train like this, I'd be like, wow, this is very detailed.
We're going to do that thing we talked about earlier. Let's just create 2 quick scenes because I want to jump back to the other one. I just want the camera location. We'll call this Mr. Big. So we got that one. I'm going to come down here. Create a scene. I'm going to call this Original Sauce. Mr. Big, an original sauce. All right, Matt, what do you think? Like, there's a lot that we could spend some time on. The wheels, they need attention. There's supposed to be stairs here going up, and this is wrong, and there's some more details we could add into the brunt of this. I'm going to throw this Santa Fe on here. But there's definitely a lot more we could do.
Okay. What do you think? You want to go another 20 minutes or so? You want to call it here? Do you want to leave it up to the chat to see what we
can
work on for the last part of it, or
what do people think we should pay attention to the most?
Bill says, at least when it comes to the handrail, it's not attached to the walkway on the bottom.
That's true, and that's an easy fix, so can do. Oops. I gotta remember which of my... I don't want any of that.
Kagi also says, fix the rear 3 handrail supports. I don't know if that's a similar...
Yeah, I broke those off, so that'll be similar. That'll be easy. So we'll do that. I think so. Okay, let's do that. That'll be easy. Let's just.
Excuse me.
Oh, didn't like it. Might have to go up to Mr. Big, which we had to do last time.
Biggie.
That's why we've got it, though. Easy peasy. Oh, you know what? I'm going to copy that line because that'll fix. So we broke those others off. And delete those. So there's that. And then
Beautiful.
paste. All right. So those,
Nice.
got those dialed in.
Safety first. Santa Fe was the previous name before it merged with Burlington Northern, now known, of course, as BNSF, according to Transom. So, good to know. Another good bit of train trivia. Bill says, don't forget to save.
Save.
Well, there's a lot more that would be fun to do on this. I'd want to spend some time on these steps and the wheels.
What's on your mind?
Oh, sorry.
But I don't know.
Walk over you.
Excuse me, drag everybody through that. Let's do a little bit more coloring.
That sounds good to me.
What? I like this Santa Fe. What do we think? What's the font on that? And we'll just use some 3D font. Big fatty man.
Maybe we can find out.
Oh no. See how it autocorrects? This is what Jen does to me. She goes in and she changes stuff. Changing Santa to Big Fatty Man is fine. She changed, you know, like mom to not something bad. You know, but
Something unexpected, at least.
yeah.
That's funny.
All right, let's
Cooper Black is what it says is the
Oh, really? Cooper Black.
looks like it's not in the default ones,
I
unfortunately.
don't have Cooper Black. Shoot. What's that one? Close-ish. Might be close enough for what we're doing. So Crimson.
This says Souvenir Bold. If you have that, would be.
Let's see.
Or Bookman. Bookman.
Let's try Bookman. I don't have that either. Darn Windows and Mac. Okay, well, if you find one that we think will
This
be
one
better,
looks good that you got here.
then
Yeah, I buy that.
let's just go with this for now.
I buy that for Fatty Big Man Faye. Keggy says the big one, or he calls it Mr. Big, doesn't have the vents on top, like the fan things that the little one has.
It's true, which and let's see here. So these are sitting outside, so I think I've got this set up so that I could go one level in, paste in place, and that we can fix that. Yep, good.
Beautiful.
Same thing with this one, which will be nice since it's not, we need to not have this mirrored or it will read backwards. So let's pull this out just a little bit.
Nice.
So that one, let's cut those and then paste in place inside. So now that there should be, yep.
Nice.
We could tweak that if we wanted, but we'll let it be. I want to draw a little piece for our coloring here. So that we can do an intersect with model, and it's going to look something like this. It sort of comes out. So there's this little piece of the coloring. I just want to do that real quick. Close enough.
Lucas says Santa Fe in English, Holy Faith. And I have to say, I'm not sure. I don't know. I buy it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, I just want to be the first to say it, but
this has truly been a journey to learn how model trains are made.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Matt, you are the first to say it. Well done. No, I don't think anyone else has said it. Oh, I did this all wrong. It's supposed to be something more like this. All right, we'll do this and then we'll call it. It'll be good enough for what we're doing.
Ah, nice. Colin says Google Translate agrees with you, Lucas, and yeah, it looks like you're right. in Portuguese is holy and fé is faith. So, holy faith in Portuguese. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I'm coming off here. I'm coming out of this train. My train brain is like all sorts of filled up with new info after this.
No kidding. Including the weight of the Death Star.
Great. Now I'm going to be weighed down by the weight of the Death Star in my brain all weekend. But no, too. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. Bill says, how will you get the line down the spine when merging the two halves?
Oh, I love that question. I love that question. Because I have an answer for it.
Andy says your brain is out of steam. He's absolutely right. I need to shovel some more coal, aka coffee, into my brain and get it up to speed again. Full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead.
All right, so let's talk about how to get rid of that line, and then we'll call it good. Like I say, lots more detail we could add in here, and that would be fun, but that would just be time, and we don't need to spend a few more hours on this. So let me copy one of these just to show a bit of what we're doing, because you can do it either way. So this edge we can simply hide. It's as simple as that, because these are components. So if I look at this one, if I use the eraser tool and with the shift key erase that edge, by holding the shift key it just hides it. So watch a few of these edges, and I'm just hiding these edges instead of erasing them. So visibly it's still separate, but just that edge itself is hidden. And a quick way to do this, like you could work your way around, this wouldn't take too long, but I could also line my view up, something like this, or do something like look at this straight on and turn perspective off. And then if I edit this and I do a sliver of a selection right here, see, I'm selecting all of those edges. And I'm actually, let me delete this surface, so I'm just hiding the edges. I prefer to delete those inside surfaces, so let's do that again. But again, just really a sliver of a selection hides the edges. And then for me, it's just a keyboard shortcut, H, but edit, hide. And all of those edges are hidden, but they're still there. If you ever need to reference those, just turn on hidden geometry, which for me is I've set that to shift 1. That's not the default, that's just for me. But if I'm ever drawing a line and I need to reference that edge and it's not snapping there, I'll just toggle hidden edges on, and then easy to find that edge that I've hidden and toggle that back off. So that's a great question. Anytime you're using mirrored components next to each other, that's really handy to know how to hide the edges, the seams, if you will. So hope that makes sense. Shout out if it doesn't.
Nice, yeah. No, I think that was a great explanation. Troublemaker 12 says GP40, and I think you're right. We don't really know enough about the trains. Tyson knows how to model them. I just sit here and play sound effects. But is it an EMD GP40? I believe so. People talked about this earlier, but yeah, good eye. Very, very good eye.
I think that if between now and whenever Aaron assembles some of these, maybe I'll jump in here and try and kick out a few more details. But overall, actually this back part, let's quick color this yellow, because it is.
Nice. Yeah, I know. I think this looks great, especially for the time that you had. And I would trust this to carry my freight around my tabletop city.
You you trust this for your 9 million metric tons of coal?
Actually, you were talking about jelly beans earlier. You could fill up those little cars with jelly beans, and
that's right. That's a better.
How many pounds of jelly beans are in the Empire State Building?
Exactly.
And Keggy says, "Nice one, Tyson. Your SketchUp training was well used."
Thanks, Keggy. Oh my gosh. Zing.
And Bill says, another great Friday night, cheaper than the pub. I assume he's meant cheaper than the pub as well. So, hey, happy to provide the the replacement for the pub in COVID times, of course. So, your one-stop shop for everything train and beer related. Who knows? Paul says also about getting the seam out of the middle. If you don't care about the halves, you could use solid tools into a single part, or could you use solid tools to put them into a single part? I think the answer to that is you could if they were modeled as this one like solid whole, right? And if you knew you weren't going to make any changes to the out, like that you would want the same changes to be made on both sides, right?
Yeah, so if I take these two, which I've copied outside of that, and I'm going to explode them. If I show these hidden edges, yeah, I can just... There's tools that'll do this a little faster than erasing it, but I can basically create a solid object. Again, as you said, if I group that, this could, if it's not already, it could easily become a solid object if I've just been clean in my modeling and I make sure all my seams line up.
I think he was maybe saying if you had the two halves and it was like a solid, they were like, it was two copies of the same solid, could you use solid tools to like combine them into one?
I think so. Because solid tools has a basic outer shell or merge. Yes, I think personally if you've modeled it and all your seams are correct, I would just explode them into the single one. Typically, I don't know if there's if either way has an advantage, but yeah, I think the answer, like you said, Matt, is yeah.
Nice. Certainly could. Andy says, "You've given me the LOCOMOTIVation to model trains myself."
Oh, that's awesome.
So. Nice, that's great. Yeah, share the trains that you model up on the forum. We'd love to see them because the rest of the month we'll be putting together this kind of little model train vignette thing with entourage, with buildings, with more car trains, with the track, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's be coming all together over the next few streams, but stay tuned and throw some of your models up on the forum, and we'd love to see them.
Mm-hmm. And otherwise, everybody have a pretty great weekend as best as you can. It's probably cold and snowy a number of places around, but hope everybody has a nice weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah. Stay safe, stay warm, and have fun modeling trains if you choose to do that. If you choose to spend your time, whatever you choose to spend your time doing this weekend, have fun. Enjoy. I don't know. That's it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So join us next week. Aaron, like I say, is going to be doing different cars, and Aaron and I typically do things a little bit differently, so it's always interesting to see his approach. But But yeah, we'll see y'all next time. Takes out, Matt.
Adios. See ya. Have a good weekend, guys.